There's lots of waterproof materials out there, and we've tried them all. We continue to work with Gore because it's just better. It's waterproof, it's breathable, and it's more durable. It's the best in the world.
Gore is a raw material supplier of what is called a finished laminate. Majority of them are 3-layer laminates, which would have a face textile, a backer technology, and a membrane that's glued together, in essence. That membrane is made out of polytetrafluoroethylene. An easier term to use for that is Teflon. Gore actually expands the Teflon or stretches it, and expanded PTFE is the key component of all the membranes that we put in all of our laminates.
ETPFE allows body moisture to get through the garment, yet it won't allow water molecules to penetrate it, which keeps it 100% waterproof. So you can move your body moisture away while completely dry from the outside elements.
You know, Gore took some unique risks with us. We were one of the only brands that's ever been given a Gore license, having never built a piece of apparel, yet alone a Gore-Tex jacket.
When we wanted to get into apparel, we went to Gore with all these different ways of making the product that were different than what they experienced. And this was foreign to them.
Arc'teryx was such a leader and innovator in the industry, and I think at a time when the industry needed some folks that kind of broke through the mold and was trying to think very differently about performance.
They had set the standards to other manufacturers and said, you make a jacket this way. And here we were coming going, no, 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 we want to make it different.
It challenged us to be better as an organization, and I think it raised the bar for the entire industry in terms of the kinds of performance that could be achieved.
It's fairly difficult to get a license from Gore. We work with only established brands, so it was a leap of faith for us to give them a license. We liked the creative energy that they had for the innovation, and they actually designed a jacket, the Alpha SV, that for me transformed the market because they reduced the weight of that outdoor jacket by about 300 grams.
Many of the advancements that we've made have gone to Gore, and they've studied them, and then they've come across new ways of making that and come back to us and said, well, you know, here's a material now that, because of what we learned here, is fundamentally better than what we had before.
An example of that is the tape width on Gore-Tex jackets used to be 1 inch. And the standard was that you couldn't make anything unless you used this big fat tape. And we thought that the big fat tape had a lot of downsides. And so we narrowed it, and the only way we could get Gore to acknowledge that narrowing the tape was going to be a viable option is we had to have 10 years of hardcore field-tested jackets with forensically carbon-datable Sharpie marks on the inside to get anywhere close to those guys saying, okay, you can narrow the tape.
You know, we have dedicated people within Gore that work only with us. They add a great deal of value to us as an organization.
I think with Arc'teryx, there's been a commitment, which requires risk on both parts, right? We're gonna each share information that obviously may be sensitive to come up with the best product, and I think, you know, we don't take those partnerships lightly.
We probably share a lot more of our technologies with Arc'teryx than we do with other companies.
We have access to folks that we normally don't in our customer-supplier relationship. So our R&D team at Gore has extensive connections to the senior R&D leaderships at Arc'teryx.
I think what that allows Arc'teryx to do is just plan for not only next year, but 3 to 5 years out.
I'd argue Arc'teryx is among, if not the hardest pushing Gore. There's a lot of knowledge and capabilities on the Arc'teryx side that Gore believes in. So it does come back to a strong position of trust on both sides.
Yeah, we can be a pain and we can push them all the times, but our design staff have an incredible knowledge of why waterproof breathables work well or not well. And we can provide that expertise to help work with Gore as they develop new products.
Gore-Tex garments and Arc'teryx garments can end up climbing Mount Everest, or they can end up walking in New York City. We want to make sure that we understand all the range of end uses and then designed to ensure that the performance ends up across all of those different types of conditions. So what we can do uniquely is that we can understand, measure, and predict comfort across a range of scenarios. In order to do that, you need a range and a very rigorous garment level analysis, and that's what we can provide fairly uniquely here.
Once we do our tests, Arc'teryx will get that garment into the mountains. Arc'teryx is based in the coast mountains, which is wet and cold, and these products are tested right in the wilderness, and we get really fast feedback from users on how to make them better and continue innovation for the future.
We push our garments to the edge, and there has been many times where our design team has taken GORE prototypes of technology that they were working on, pushed them to the limits, and made them fail. And our ability to give them that real-world field experience, but then really push hard on them to make it better, has been a really powerful thing for both companies. And it's amazing how much the teams rely on each other.
I don't think we could extricate GORE from Arc'teryx or vice versa. I think we're totally tied at the hip.
From a GORE and ARC relationship, they are two companies going after the same thing. If you don't do one well, the other one can't survive.
I want to make sure that we're putting our best materials in the best garment designs possible. You can take a great material and put it into a terribly designed garment, and you don't get any of the benefits of that material.
There's a really deep mutual respect and trust there, and we're really proud, and it's an amazing partnership.